Today we have Zuzana Plesa with her book Belongings, and I have some questions that I'm going to ask her about the book that she has written. So, Suzanne, just tell me a little bit about yourself, why you decided to write this book.
Well, I've been thinking about this. It's a memoir. I've been thinking about all my travels and all my collections, and I thought I would put them into a book one day. And so I finally was able to sit down last year and put everything together and finally get it published in March.
So, tell me a little bit about the cover.
Well, if you can see the cover, I put in all of the things that I talk about in the book, which I have collected. I have a collection of dolls, and I had a dollhouse built just for them. And then I have a collection of books all over my house. And then I have a lot of dishes. And so all of those are shown on the cover of the book, which is entitled Belongings.
And it took you a really long time to write this book, right?
Yes, it did. It took many, many years of writing notes down, keeping a journal, but finally pulling it all together.
How did you start? How was the beginning?
Well, sometimes it was easy because I like to write, and sometimes it was difficult because I thought, where should I go with this? What should I do with this? But I also had a writing coach, and she kept me on track. I had to be accountable to this person, and that made a difference for me because I knew I had to say, oh, I wrote this much or I got this much organized, so that helped.
And then they give you a definite goal or end to end the book, right?
Yes.
Right, so the first chapter is called The Wrong Medicine, right?
Well, it means that we look for our soul and for who we are in the wrong places. There's a way to look for our soul. It's through meditation, it's through yoga, it's through journaling. However, a lot of us turn to things like alcohol or drugs or shopping therapy. And the one I turned to was shopping therapy and collecting and collecting and collecting. Thus, you see all of my belongings, which I now have to say, uh-oh, too many. I have to start to get rid of them because that's not the answer to what I really need, to belong, to feel that I know who I am and where I am.
What would you say is the most difficult chapter?
Probably my first one, because I had to deal with my father who turned to the wrong medicine, and then my own grief and sadness at his death. And that really started me on the road to shopping therapy and collecting and collecting and collecting.
Right. Have you ever encountered a time where you were writing and you encountered some sort of writer's block? Like a lot of people talk about having writer's block.
Oh yes, there were days when I said nothing seems to be coming. So that's a time when you have to just stop and maybe take a walk and look at your flowers or your garden or whatever gives you joy, and then you come back to it. You sort of have to clear your head.
Right. So if there could be one huge takeaway from reading this book, what would your main push be?
It would be that we need to look for our souls and who we are in the things that are correct for us or that are appropriate for us, whether it means prayer or meditation or journaling or yoga, rather than just turning to the wrong medicine, as I call it, such as, alcohol or drugs, or even buying and buying and buying because it gives us a temporary high.
Right. So is there anything you're writing next?
Oh, I'm thinking about writing something about my relationship with my mother. But it's still in the
works.
It's still in the very early stage of thinking through. Right, and it's zpcounseling.com. You can find some of my writings there, and you can find something, and the book is Belongings, and it's on Amazon. And if people have a problem with collecting too much, this might give you some inspiration to turn around and go in a different direction.
Watching.
Thank you for allowing me to talk about my book, and for those of you who are interested in finding where you belong, and not in belongings, but in the world, read the book and see how I have worked with that issue. Thank you.